Why? Because they can always get a man to sleep with them. Which takes me to the number one thing that makes women upset the most. And by now you guys should have guessed it.
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before I get started, I want you to watch the entire video. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe at the end of the video. But first, watch the entire video. Next, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if you haven't subscribed to my second channel, who is Anthony Spade, the link is in the description. All right, today I'm going to be talking about the thing that upsets women the most that guys don't understand. They don't have a clear understanding to this. And there's only certain guys that are going to understand it. And most of the guys that understand it are going to be like pimps, strip club owners, brothel owners, things like that. There are certain calibers of men and certain type of men that have a certain swag with women, that women just find themselves being around. They just want to be a lover and a daughter to the man. And that's what a lot of you guys see. You guys see a lot of young women that gravitate towards certain older men. But these certain older men are doing things that you haven't understood yet. So today we're going to be talking about what is it that these guys are doing that you haven't learned how to do yet. Let's get to it. First, these guys know the anger and attitude that a woman shows you, it's not her true meaning. It's not what she means. Women are always in character. They're always acting. So if you see them acting sad, they overdo it. They add a little bit of drama to it. They always adding extra drama to things to sell the situation. They're selling the situation so everything works inside of their favor. Whenever you have women doing this and you have other women to back them up, it allows a woman to feel empowered. So you must understand now, majority of what you're gonna see on surface with a woman is already a lie. You have to learn to look through her and call her out on the lies that she's portraying. That's something that a lot of you guys have a hard time doing. You have a hard time calling a woman out on her lies, and that allow her to run through you. But once you learn to see through her lies and you can call her out on it, that'll keep her from acting when she gets around you. You have to realize when you're in a beta state of mind, right? And she looks at you as being a beta, she's gonna always think about you as being a beta, regardless of what you do. So let's say you're a beta and then all of a sudden you wanna be alpha with her. That's not gonna work. The relationship is gonna end almost immediately. Once you go red pill in a relationship, you cannot keep the same woman. You have to get rid of that woman and start off fresh with a newer woman. Why? Because you learn to see through the woman that you have at that time that you go red pill. This is how a lot of women now, you're seeing a lot of thought box get kicked to the curb, and then they're saying, oh, our boyfriends gave us a status and they should continue to pay for it. No, when a man wakes up and realizes that he has a thought, he has no more respect for her because he learns to see through her. So once you're able to understand that the image that she's portraying is all an act, that gets you closer to understanding who women really are. Next, a woman is only smart because she's surrounded by beta males. What do I mean by that? See, a beta male is always putting a woman's emotions ahead of logic. So a lot of these beta males may let a woman go along with things just to keep from upsetting her. But throughout that process of men going along with it, she looks at it like, all right, I'm smarter than men because they do what I say. They listen to me. I'm a leader around men. But they're really not a leader around men. What they have is sexual desires that those guys can't get to. That's why the men that get the women don't tell the women the same thing as the guys that don't get the women. So before we get around to me telling you exactly what makes her mad the most, you must understand most of her knowledge is false knowledge. It's just men going along with her because they have a desirement to sleep with her. Next, to compete with a man, a woman must lose all ability of being a submissive woman. Understand that. In order for a woman to be successful as a man, she has to become a man. She has to think like a man. She has to act like a man. And in that process, she loses the feeling of what it's like to actually be a submissive woman, to be a vulnerable woman. So in order for her to feel like that, things that she do has to be extreme. Sex has to be extreme. Competitiveness in life has to be extreme. Everything that she does has to be competitive, because she's only going to submit to the thing that can tame her, that can dominate her. So a lot of these women, when they develop an alpha trait, they normally find themselves going so far away from being submissive that the only submissive thing that they can do is try to date another woman or become best friends with another woman, because they've lost all touch and feel of what it's like for her to be a woman connecting to an alpha male. Next, we're getting close. A woman's sexual desires is the only power that she has. Not her brain, not her smart, not her college education, not who she's hung around, not the crowd that she claimed. That's not her superpower at all. A woman's superpower is only in her looks. It doesn't matter how educated she is. It doesn't matter what college she's been to. None of that matters when it comes to a woman. It's only her looks. And the girls that understand that are the girls that do the conquering of men. The women who do not understand that would be the women that are fat, sloppy, educated, got everything in life they want and can't get a man, but they always end up with a kid. Why? Because they can always get a man to sleep with them, which takes me to the number one thing that makes women upset the most. And by now you guys should have guessed it. It's refusing to sleep with her. That makes her mad the most, is when guys don't want her, when guys don't want to sleep with her because she has no power. See, you guys have to understand, women try to make it sound like they're really educated, or they try to make it sound like they got power and like they really have businessship and like they really want to be business owners. No, they don't. Only thing women want to do is feel sexy. Feeling sexy makes them feel good. So once they get used to feeling sexy, then it's easier for them to use that to gather money. They would rather do that than actually go bust their ass trying to get educated and become successful. And the ones that are doing that are becoming miserable. But as they do that, it's taking them further away from being a woman, and then they're left to go date another woman. So understand, what makes women mad the most is when guys don't want to sleep with them. And what really changes their life and makes them hate men the most is when the guy that they want to love them don't want to sleep with them. See, when you see girls out here doing porn and doing all this stuff, it's because they have an insecurity inside that never got the guy that they wanted. So they run out and start sleeping with all these dudes and doing porn for attention, because they need attention and they need men to love them more than they need to go to college, more than they need to go to school. That stuff is only stressing them out. They need a man to love them, hold them, make them feel good. So when they're brainwashed into thinking that they're not good enough, they're going to sleep with multiple guys. And that's what you see now. You see a generation of women who are addicted to porn, the same as the men. Only thing they're doing is, we live in such a fake world, they're just acting out a scene. Love is nothing more than a porno scene of who's gonna lick each other's booty and fuck each other the most. But when you refuse it from a woman, and a woman thinks that you don't wanna sleep with her, she feels her ugliest. Once she feels her ugliest, then she's willing to degrade herself in order to get that feeling back. She becomes moralist if she doesn't feel pretty. That's why the pretty girls that all the guys want to sleep with, they go their whole life, guys just giving them everything. Those girls are always on cloud nine. Those girls are always happy. They the pretty little girl that you just be like, damn, she looks like nobody would have ever heard her. You're right, because she's been able to feel good her whole life because all the guys want to sleep with her. But when men don't want to sleep with them, it's different. This is how a pimp manages his women. It's because he doesn't sleep with them. When you're unable to sleep with them, you're able to conquer their brain, because when you want to sleep with them, they've conquered your brain with desirement. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message in the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.